3. 3 at 3 every business day. I bring you unusual option activity. Today is no different, so let's get started. Bang, as I like to say. It is Friday, the 15th of January, and it's been a wild ride already today. I've got a few stocks that I'm going to talk about that meet our criteria for unusual option activity. The disclaimer is, as always, that this service is provided for educational and informational purposes only, full stop. Before you act on anything you're about to see, please make sure it's appropriate for you because all investments involve risk. Intellectual property rights. We have patents, we have trademarks, we have registered marks, we have copyright on virtually everything you're about to see. So please, before you use it, ask us and then reference and cite Market Rebellion. Thank you. Teva Pharmaceutical, all right, stock was $10.72 just a couple days ago. We said, what about that activity in those February 12 calls? Well, stock was $10.72 at the time, and today it traded over 12. Here's a shot from about an hour ago or so. When it was $11.91, it's already been over $12. I think $12.06 is the high today. Bang! That's why we trade options, folks. Stock makes a small move, a couple percent, 3-4%. People get all giddy about it. I'm happy about it. But the options, they move a lot. That's why you trade options. Unusual option activity. Yeah, that's what we're about to cite. In fact, my brother Pete was on with Scott Wapner today on the Halftime Report talking about unusual option activity. And he hit Jets. I believe that was the first one he hit today. JETS, Jets. This one has kind of been going sideways over the last 5-10 days, but look at that big spike in the volume. They are in here buying March 25 calls in Jets and obviously a recovery play. I've seen activity in Jets. I think I last cited it maybe a week or 2 weeks ago. And maybe it's getting ready to break out to the upside. Jets was down, at least at that level, 22.53. Was it on the screen there? No, 22.53 when Pete was talking about it here. And we thought that made for a nice entry. He was talking about the 25s. Those of you who watch regularly know that even though that activity showed up in the 25 strike, I am far likely to buy an at-the-money call and sell those 25 calls. That way I move the odds into my favor. I'm not asking the stock to make as big a move. If you'd like to learn about how to do that, you can join Market Rebellion. You can learn from home. You can have your laptop, your iPad, whatever, open and just go through the tutorials. We even have tests in there to make sure you know what you think you know before you move on to the next chapter. That's all included. Remote learning, coaching, mentoring, whether you want to trade stock, options, futures, or cryptocurrencies, we have it all at Market Rebellion. So check it out, please. Pete's second stock today was BWA, which is BorgWarner. BorgWarner was down about $1, as you see on the screen, 2.25%, and 38.73 was the level that it was at, and they came in buying the 37.50 calls. There you see it. BWA, this is from our site at Market Rebellion. BWA bullish call buying with the stock at 38.30. Here it was 38.73 as Pete's mentioning it, but 38.30, 6,500 of the March 37.50 calls. They were bought for $3 up to $3.30, which means, of course, $300 per option, all the way up to $330 per option. Now, these are in the money options, so these are indeed what I would buy. And I would sell a higher strike against it if we get that little bit of a pop that we've already got. As you saw when Pete was there, we got a little pop, and it had moved up to 38.68 when Pete was talking about it, 38.73. So these calls, the right to buy it at 37.50 is worth at least $1.80 18 cents. There you go. So as this stock moves up, you're able to sell a higher strike call against it. That's one of the ways that I love to play. I leg into many of these spreads if we think there's some good momentum. The stock was down about $1.20, maybe even $1.30 at the time. So we were able to put on that one leg, the 37.50, and then sell out a higher strike against it, still in the position 100%, but now we have addressed time decay and volatility, both by doing that. Here is Voyager. Now, by the way, they just had a very successful raise. The stock was halted today. It wasn't halted for nefarious reasons. It was halted because of that news dissemination in Canada. They have a slightly different way of how they do it. This is a Canadian listed stock. It does trade over the counter here in America. And as I've told you before, I'm a pretty decent sized shareholder of it. I like what Steve Ehrlich and his team have done there. My brother Pete and I are fully behind this as a great crypto broker. Brokerage, free, no commission brokerage, and earn up to 9.5% on your crypto trade. 50 plus of those digital assets, everything from Litecoin and Bitcoin and Ethereum to almost anything you can name. Some I'm sure you can't even name. And it's all right there in a great app on the iPhone. You can get it at the App Store, or you can go over to Google Play if you're an Android user. Let's take a look at our third of the 3 at 3, which is Range Resources. This is an energy play, of course. RRC, bullish call spread. Stock was $10.21. They stepped in and bought almost 1 million share equivalent. So 9,000 options, folks, is 900,000 shares of stock, because you've got 100 shares for every option you buy. So just put 2 zeros on the end of that, and that's where you get the 900,000 share equivalent. February 11 calls just out of the money, and they paid 67 cents for these. There you see the stock at 10.23. When we cited it for our blog, it was 10.21, so it's roughly in the same range. It's up about 2.7% today. Love the action here, and I am in Range Resources. If you'd like to ask us a question, we'd love to answer your questions. And I am at Jon Najarian, that's JONNAJARIAN, as well as our handle for 3 at 3, which is at the number 3, AT, the number 3, underscore UOA. As always, that's for those of you listening on Sirius Satellite Radio. Let's get to Vicky McFadden. And Vicky McFadden's handle on Twitter couldn't be easier. It is VICKIEMACFADDEN, just like her name says. And Vicky says, great read on solar energy hashtag solar power. Now, off to put that movie on my list. I'd encourage you to check out that tweet that I cited there, folks, because Jonathan Scott, one of the property brothers, Pete and I are the stock and option brothers. Jonathan Scott, I guess we're crypto brothers too. Jonathan Scott is one of the most successful folks on reality TV. He and his brother, actually I think 2 of his brothers, but they're on reality TV on the Discovery Channel and so forth. They do a great job, HGTV. They are, and he was installing solar panels on a roof, and that's when he discovered that Warren Buffett was blocking solar. So he decided to make a movie about it. So I applaud you, Jonathan Scott. Great job, sir. And I'm looking forward to seeing that movie as well, Vicky. So I will check it out. You can see all about it, folks, if you follow my tweet. It was in an article in the LA Times, I think today. Anyway, the tweet's there, the link's there. SRNE, Darcy Parsons, who's making a heart sign there. Like that, Darce. Thank you. Heart sign right back to you, Darcy. Darcy says, replying to 3 at 3 and Jon Najarian, SRNE. She's got rainbows, she's got praying hands, she's got balloons, she's got it all. Well, Darcy, you're right. SRNE, we talked about it back on the 23rd of December, just the day before Christmas Eve. And we cited the bullish call activity. The stock was $8.16. Today, just moments ago, the stock was $9.52. Bang! $9.52. It's up 19% today, folks. Basically, it had just been laying around there at 8. Now it pops today, $1.53, 20% nearly. Love that. Let's talk about Pagan 2121, and that is his or her handle, pretty close to it. It is PAGAN 21211. And he or she sends me this. It looks like, the villain from the Batman movie, Bane, mask that he's got on there. But so let's say it's a he. About to start up with Market Rebellion and see if you can give me some info from your perspective. Is it worth just following your tweets, or do you get alerts well in advance of making a move? Well, the way it works is that Pete and I and a team, literally a team, I think there are 5 of our analysts just on unusual option activity. And we are all looking at our algorithm that is looking for unusual option activity. Now we get literally 100 or more readings per day. We do not act on 100 or more. We filter them down. We use our gut as well as the news reading algos that we've got to determine which ones we think have the best chance for success. So we're looking for unusual option activity, that is calls being bought on the offer or puts being bought on the offer. We see that big block that the machine sees because it moves too fast for the human eye to see. But the machine sees it, targets it, flips it out. Our guys start breaking it down. Again, is there news? Are there rumors? What else is going on technically? All the rest with the stock. We probably post about 20 or 30 of those a day. Now, we don't tweet about it until I'm on TV or Pete's on TV, or I do 3 at 3. Other than that, we don't tweet about it, Pagan. So you're getting the first look. If you're a subscriber, you have every edge. You even get into it before we do because we post it, give it 15 minutes, then we trade it. Now, that's not required by the SEC or anything, or FINRA, and we're not registered with the SEC or FINRA. We are publishers. But what we're doing is we're giving all of our subscribers a chance to do something with that information first. So by the time we're actually on at noon Eastern time on Halftime Report, for instance, many of our subscribers could have been in the trade for 2 or 3 hours already. The same trades that we're talking about there. In some cases, yeah, the stocks have already moved up considerably because of that unusual option activity and then the follow-on trade from our folks. So if you're just following me on Twitter, I think you can do very well. If you're just following us on Halftime or when Pete's on the 5 o'clock show and you follow him on that or you follow us on the Halftime, I think you can do very well. But keep in mind that just like Jim Cramer's disclaimer says, we and our subscribers are probably already in most cases, we're in at better prices. Because again, once you put it out there on television, once you put it out there on Twitter, I don't have 244,000 subscribers to our website, but I've got 244,000 followers on Twitter. So you can imagine that when we put it out on Twitter, a lot of people act on it, just like a lot of people act on it when we talk about it on Halftime or when I do 3 at 3. You can track it and see exactly how big it moves. They move because a lot of you are smart and you're following us into where the smart money is being invested. So thank you for that. And this guy was a hero, folks, and I am so proud of Father Thomas Conway. I have no relation to the man. But Andrew Coffey, who puts up these questions, shot me this, and he pointed out that this guy was a diocesan priest of Buffalo Diocese, and he was posthumously awarded the Navy Cross today in his hometown of Westbury, Connecticut. for his actions following the July 1945 sinking of the USS Independence. Now, you guys, if you're people who are familiar with that, that's a ship that was torpedoed. It was war, but that ship was torpedoed. The sailors were either thrown off the ship or, as it was sinking, had to flee the ship. And it was shark-infested waters. A lot of men, I imagine some women, died as well as heroes after that, attack. This particular gentleman, this Father Thomas Conway, sat there swimming back and forth to the survivors in the water, giving them counsel, giving them hope, giving them a baptism, believe it or not, or last rites, and then he passed away in the waters. I think it said 67 people were saved, and they commented about his heroism. So I applaud and salute the Navy for giving him, Father Thomas Conway, the Navy Cross, which is the second highest honor that a Navy or Marine can get. And just shows you there are a lot of heroes around us. Thank you, folks, for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the program. I will see you next week from an undisclosed location, but it'll be in the sun. I'll tell you that much. It'll be in a lot closer to the equator than Chicago is. Anyway, if you'd like to learn more about what we're doing, check out marketrebellion.com/UOA. That is marketrebellion.com/UOA for unusual option activity. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you have a fabulous and safe weekend, and I'll be back with you next week. Bang!